If you're planning to start an email agency this year, don't. All right, the market you think you're entering no longer exists. AI has changed the economics, it's changed the delivery, and it's changed the buyer. And if you don't adjust to that, you will be obsolete before you've even signed your first client or your next client. Now, I'm not saying the whole game is up, okay? But what I am saying is that the agency model that you're about to start, you're trying to scale, is done for. It's cooked. And I should know, okay? So over the last 6 years, in my email agency, we've sold products for the likes of Nike, Calvin Klein, Puma, Velux, Fat Crow, tons of international brands. We've currently got, I think, 23, 24 clients on our books, and I work less today than I did at the start of my agency journey. So in this video, what I'm going to do is show you why the old agency model is done for, okay, and what to avoid, what's replacing it, and how you as an operator, if you adapt and do the things I'm telling you to do, you will make more money this year than you've ever made before in your life, okay, and not by selling retainers, but by selling something totally different, okay. So stick around to the end of the video where I will show you exactly how. Now, first things first, we have to just briefly look at the existing marketplace, okay? Now, I'm somebody who currently still has an agency, okay? I'm not telling you to do something based on something I did, 10 years ago. It's something that I'm in the trenches in right here, right now, okay? Now, you might be the best email marketer ever, okay? But the market that you're in means you'll never escape the low ticket retainers that you're probably suffering from right now, okay? And this is due to a number of reasons, all right? Now, the market, like I say, has changed, okay? Clients are becoming harder and harder to close based on traditional retainer-based agency offers, okay? Typically clients, nowadays, they don't even believe testimonials, the likes of AI, you can be criticized or they can perceive you as having fake testimonials. So it's really difficult, even if you've got social proof. Rigid retainers feel basically too risky to buyers and e-com brands that have been, burnt a lot of times in the past, and there's no differentiation, okay? So everybody looks identical. Now, what has really kind of done this over in the marketplace is that AI has changed the economics, okay? It's becoming a lot easier for any individual with no skill to say that they use AI to increase, revenue from email when it comes to working with e-com brands. Now, the difficulty here is that done for you is very saturated and it's very undervalued, okay? And this is really why, the crux of why many traditional agencies are dying, okay? So there's a number of reasons at play, and like I say, the market has changed. The AI layer in the marketplace is making things harder, and the buyer mindset is totally different to what it used to be. Indeed, when it was when I first started the agency. Now, the traditional model is dead for these reasons, okay? Like I said, there's very low demand. Clients don't want to be locked into rigid, self-serving contracts that ultimately give them a low amount of value, okay? So you've got to remember, getting clients onto a 6 or 12-month retainer is more beneficial for you as the agency owner than it is for them, okay? And we live in an era now in the market where, if your offer isn't 110% valuable to the client, then they're not going to go with you. Okay, maybe 5 years ago, they would kind of yield to things like that. They would say, okay, well, we can see the value and actually a 6-month retainer is normal. Okay, but you're now competing against people like me in the marketplace who are able to go to a client, and we have the economies of scale to do so. We can go to a client and say to them, look, we're not going to put you into a rigid retainer. We're not going to lock you into a contract that you can't get out of. What we're going to do for you is what I'm going to tell you how to do in this video right here. Okay. Now, another reason why this traditional model is failed and has largely failed is that there's zero differentiation. Okay, so the offers that you are running is making you look identical to everybody else. And when it comes to email marketing and specifically Klaviyo, the advice is typically, if a brand isn't doing anywhere between 30 to 40% of their monthly recurring revenue from email, then Klaviyo is a tool that could help them. And then what's happened is that every agency owner, including yourself, that uses Klaviyo, then uses that same pitch to go to clients. So every e-com brand owner that I speak to says, we get pitched the same offers, all the time. people are going to come in, and now with AI, they're going to increase our revenue on a monthly basis by 30 to 40% through email. Okay, they've got no real reason. You've got no USP, no real reason for a brand to go with you other than, over somebody else in the marketplace. Okay, and the final point here, why the model's broken, is less on the client, less on the buyer, and more on you as the seller, is that you're always going to face a service delivery bottleneck. Okay, so if you are trying to operate the agency from that traditional, brick and mortar kind of framework, you're going to struggle, because the more clients you get, the more resources you need to service those clients. Okay, so that means more staff, more tools, more time, and ultimately what this causes is less profit. Okay, and this is what happened to me a few years back when I had an incredible amount of stress, and then I basically reached a point in my journey where I had negatively conditioned myself to a point where I didn't even want to get new clients. So every new client that I brought on just meant more stress, okay, and more cost to me as the agency owner. Now, what the market wants and what the market actually needs is very different to what you are offering. And typically, as an agency owner, what we are guilty of is coming up with the next best idea, thinking of all the features that make it the best idea ever, and then pitching those to clients without actually having any idea of whether that's going to be valuable to them or not, or even whether they'll pay for it. Okay, the two things are slightly different. Now, what the client wants is what I'm going to show you here. The clients now want full ownership. So what they don't want is to work with you as a service provider, get locked into a 12-month contract where you drag out your scope and you drip feed them deliverables. Okay, so in month 1 you do 2 flows or automations, and then month 2 you do 3, and then month 3 you drop it down to 1, or whatever it might be. What the brands want is full ownership over retention and email as a retention strategy in their business. Okay, so what that means is they want a system, they want an infrastructure that maybe they buy it from you, but that they can deploy themselves if they need to. Okay, and this is again where the market has shifted, because 5 years ago, a lot of brands didn't really know how to, get the most out of email. And it was quite easy as an agency owner to say, work with us on a 12-month basis and we'll increase your revenue by X, Y, Z. And we'll work with you on a monthly going basis. And, it's going to cost you $1,000 per month or $5,000 per month, whatever you were willing and able to charge. But like I say, the environment has changed now. And if you continue to shill offers like that, you're going to be out of business, next week. Okay. So what the market wants and what it needs: ownership, first and foremost; empowerment and a self-serving system, secondly. Okay, so these two things link up. Speed of implementation. Okay, so again, what they don't want is 12 months, or what they don't want is 6 months. They want instant. And that's what AI has really, helped to kind of aggravate in the marketplace. So before, people always wanted instant gratification. They wanted results quicker, not least if you're a business owner and you are investing a considerable chunk of money to get a return on that investment. You want an ROI as quickly as possible. Okay, it's going to help improve your yield as a business owner from that investment. But now with the advent of AI and all these different layers that AI provides to, us as service providers, clients more than ever want speed. Okay, so what we are able to do, again, with our economy of scale, is deliver this system within 24 hours. The guys that work with us and we build the system for them, who then run it in their agencies, they typically find anywhere between 24 to 14 days is what they can pitch successfully to clients. Okay, and again, this is about freedom and agility. So no contracts on the front end, no sort of perceived pressure to lock clients in. And I promise you, if you understand this and make this pivot, it's going to help you deploy this future model that we'll go through here. Okay, and I'm going to show you here very quickly how to do this. So number one, you need to package your operational model and your service delivery vehicle as it stands now. Okay, so if you were deploying, 4 flows a month and 4 campaigns a month, and you're, creating 2 new segments each month, whatever it might be, you need to package that up into one system that you can then deploy for the client within a 24-hour period of time, or a 7-day or a 14-day period of time, whatever you feel comfortable doing, okay? Now, if you haven't done that, this is where we can help you, okay? So largely, one of the reasons that I continue making videos like this is because when I first started sharing what I was doing with the agency, bear in mind, nobody else in the e-com email space does this and can do this. Guys like you watching this video said to me, well, you know, it's all well and good you providing this infrastructure for brands, but how can we get our hands on that infrastructure? And then that's exactly the help that we can help provide you, okay? And if you click the link in the description to this video, you'll be able to jump on a call with me and I'll run you through that one-on-one, okay? So secondly, infrastructure over service provider. So what you want to do, a key differentiation you want to make, is that you are not an agency owner, okay? You are a systems implementer, you are a infrastructure builder, whatever it might be, whatever term you want to name or create for yourself, you have to create a distinction that you are not just an agency owner, okay? Agency owners lock clients into contracts where they over promise and under deliver, and they don't, give an ROI. Okay, as a systems implementer, as an operator, as a builder, you provide the client with everything they'll ever need for their business in terms of future-proofing it overnight for an upfront fee. Okay, and that's where we get to the offer. Okay, so focus on one offer, get paid upfront for that system. Focus on one channel for acquisition. Okay, for us, it's cold email and still is to this day. Delivery, you've got to systemize and automate through your infrastructure build, and then that's how you can achieve scale. Okay, so understanding this key pivot now is going to set you up for success in this year. Okay, and if you're running an email agency or you're watching this video because you are interested in starting an e-com email agency, then starting with these foundations in place first are going to generate results quicker for you than if you were to try and pitch retainers. Okay, so this is the fastest way to getting paid 6 to 12K upfront as an email agency owner. If you like this video, consider subscribing, drop me a comment. Otherwise, click the link in the description below. We'll jump on a call together. I'll run you through our infrastructure and how you can get your hands on it within the next 24 hours. All right, guys, so until next time, I will see you in the next one. All right, cheers.